Lance, you've heard Pastor Hank. Welcome to the program. Thank you for joining us live here at the last minute. You heard what Pastor Hank's saying. I mean, this is something that I know in our circles, we've heard a lot of people, a lot of prayer warriors, a lot of intercessory have voiced their concern about this. Let me get your take on what you're seeing.
Well, so what you've got is the natural culmination, Gene, of the media having had this campaign against Trump as a Hitler. And so it's really the responsibility of the Democrat Party and the media to stop this narration of hate. Remember, when he ran the first time, they tried to wrap that around him, that he's a hate monger and all the violence that was happening was because of him. Then we found out that the reality is it's organized Democrat opposition. And so the way that this needs to be prayed out, I think, is that we have a moment when a whole lot of soul searching has to go on the left. If they're going to continue the rhetoric that innocent people, they try to indict him, they try to bankrupt him, they try to lock him up, they try to impeach him. The only thing they have left is assassination. And we've been praying against this since 2016, because we see that that's the ultimate instrumentality that the enemy will use. But we really have to stop and say, this is the natural byproduct of irresponsible journalism trying to gin up the public into thinking they're dealing with an enemy rather than just a candidate whose views they don't agree with. So I'm praying that he is actually going to come out of this physically all right. We're waiting. I remember, and I don't want to create a needless contradicting report here, but I remember when I'm watching Lincoln today, wouldn't you know it, prophetically. But when an assassination attempt was made on Ronald Reagan, the first report was he's fine. Then later on, you find out that there was a bullet. So we're going to continue to pray that the reports we're getting are that Trump is fine and that there's no damage done to him. And I can tell you this, as he survives this attempt, it's going to change again the narrative of how this nation moves forward. His speech that he's going to deliver this next week at the RNC is going to be the most viewed political speech of our lifetime, simply because of this attack. People are going to be very interested in seeing his condition, hearing from him, and hearing how he frames where America is at. I pray that the same providence that guided him to move his head in such a fraction of a way that a bullet that could have killed him didn't do it, is an evidence that God is in control of every fraction of what's happening with this man, and that our commitment to covering him in prayer is going to be the divine shield that keeps him from the destruction of the enemy. And I'm praying also this prayer. Remember in the Garden of Gethsemane, when an ear was cut off by Peter, Jesus reached down in the garden and put the ear supernaturally right back. There are some attacks that when they happen, God intervenes and he moves in a miraculous way. And I pray for a miraculous intervention of God now on President Trump, not only on his physical body, but on his campaign, that the enemy will not be able to use this to his advantage, but rather it boomerangs against him.
Amen to that.